Plus, Twitter going wild during the final face-off, especially when Donald Trump said this.
We have some bad people in this country. We have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
Carly Shimkus with what is making waves on social media from the final debate.
Or future general
Contributor and Army veteran Pete Hegseth. Pete, thank you so much for joining us again. You heard Donald Trump mention there the 32 countries that ISIS is in. Let's begin specifically with Syria, though, because you've had 9 million people displaced. You've had 400,000 people killed. In Aleppo, where Russia has now taken a humanitarian pause, we have 250,000 people still trapped. About 100,000 of those, we're told, are children alone. So who better talked about the plan moving forward and what to do about ISIS?
Well, Trump did, because Hillary Clinton is an extension of the complacent Barack Obama foreign policy, which set a red line and would not enforce it, and has really abdicated responsibility and leadership in Syria to Russia, to Vladimir Putin, and Trump pointed that out very, very well. So when it comes to ISIS and Syria and Iraq, the contrast is perfect. Hillary Clinton said it herself. She wants to keep an eye on ISIS, and Donald Trump said, no, I don't want to keep an eye on them. I want to crush them and obliterate them. Plans are still vague and what that really means and how it's done, but that's the gut of the American people. Right. They want leadership that will destroy our enemies, not step back and say, well, maybe if we have an intelligence surge, it'll take care of itself.
Yeah, and now more than ever, you're going to have a lot of people that vote in large part because of foreign policy, and many people go to the voting booth and vote based on how they're feeling, based on who they feel is going to be best to protect them in uncertain times. Arguments are tied Hillary Clinton, rather, to the last 8 years, to President Barack Obama and the failures that we've seen in foreign policy.
That's right. And he did a nice job last night to land security and saying she's for open borders. She wants to bring in more refugees who we don't know what their intentions are in this country. And we unleashed that violence because of their abandonment of Iraq. Donald Trump did a very nice job litigating the Iraq war and saying, hey, he didn't agree we should go there, but once we did go there, we should finish it. And their retreat is what gave us ISIS. The American people get that sense. And I think that litigation is important because Hillary Clinton is a lot of intervention with none of the follow-through, which means you're going to get chaos in the Middle East. Trump made that point. He always makes it a little differently than some of us might make it, but he did a nice job articulating the fact that America should be strong.
And he knew what Aleppo was, which I think was a big moment.
Yes.
and not just the Middle East. There are actually, 10 major conflicts all around the world right now involving the U.S. And I thought it was interesting, if you look at Hillary Clinton's website, she actually brags about making America stronger and a leader in the country through her foreign policy. Do you believe that that is true?
No, not at all. I mean, I believe she traveled a lot of places as Secretary of State and met a lot of leaders so she could pad her resume, and then went on to enrich herself through a lot of those relationships, as opposed to putting America's interests front and center and saying, what can I do to keep us safe and strong? And Trump's theme from the beginning has been to tell inconvenient truths, difficult truths that people sort of step back and say, that feels different to me. Well, the American people feel like what we've been doing over the last 8 years has not made us safer.
Right.
And so Hillary Clinton's an extension of that. He did a nice job pushing that.
Do you think he's going to get a bump in the polls from this?
I'm not sure. I think it was a wash on a lot of levels, but of the 3 debates, I think he was more or less on his firmest ground last night.
And what about the troops? You're an Army veteran yourself. What were they listening for, and did they hear anything that will sway them to his direction if they weren't?
I think his closing statement on that was excellent. Make America great again, rebuild our military, fix the VA for our veterans, which didn't come up at all last night except for his proactive mention. He's been great on that issue. Right. And then crushing our enemies and untying the hands of our warfighters. Those are themes guys in uniform want to hear, and Donald Trump did deliver that.
Yeah, that goes a long way. All right, Pete, good to see you this morning.
Thank you, Pete.
Enjoy Vegas the last few hours.
Well, we will.
Don't jump in a pool today.
I might. Stay tuned.
Oh, okay. Well, still to come, we're going to check in with Ainsley Earhart to talk about other things going on in Vegas and what is coming up. Hello,
and Ainsley, you hung out in the spin room last night, one of my favorite places, getting the scoop.
I did. Oh, yeah, you have some experience that with your dad and his elections, Abby. It's so much fun to go in there after the debate, because we all watch the debate together, all the journalists from around the country. And then Donald Trump, he's been known to come in the spin room in the past, all of his family members, and then you have a lot of Democrats that come in there as well. So you go around and you interview them about the results and what they thought. We talked to Don Jr., we talked to Laura Trump, we talked to Reverend Jesse Jackson, we talked to Mark Cuban, and Eric Trump. And this is what Eric said about his dad's performance.
He hit it out of the park. He did such a great job. I thought his closing statement was perfect, and he's right. The country's been left behind. I mean, the country has simply been left behind. We've been ripped off. We haven't taken care of national defense. We haven't taken care of our vets. We haven't taken care of our military. We haven't taken care of our educational system. I mean, we've been getting ripped off by every country around the world, and I think he nailed it tonight. I mean, I think he had the perfect tone. I think he had the perfect temperament, and I think he really brought the arguments to her.
We're going to be breaking down the debate for the next 3 hours. We're also going to have Kellyanne Conway right here on this set live. And we got to have a lot of fun when we're in Vegas, right? So we invited Cirque du Soleil to come this morning. So you'll have to stay tuned, ladies, for that.
Cirque du Soleil. Now, that is a great tease.
Yeah,
Ainsley, I wanted to ask you, though, because earlier you had said before you got out there, you thought everybody should dress up in Elvis costumes when you flew out there. Did that happen?
No, Brian and I were talking about that yesterday. We forgot our Elvis costumes.
No.
And I haven't even seen him. No Elvis sightings. Granted,
I was gonna say, I think
so
you can
wrapped up
find
in
one.
the debate.
That's shocking.
All right, Halloween idea.
Maybe I'll find one before we leave.
Exactly. There's still time. All right. See you soon, Ainsley.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ainsley. And
Thanks.
we'll be back with more analysis after this. Stay with us.